What is going on, guys? It is Blink here, back with a new guide. Now, this guide is another full gameplay guide. Anyways, guys, let's get to this guide. So, we're back at Paradise, and I've got all the loot I need without any interruptions, and now we're ready to fight. Spot a player crossing the road and open up with a few burst shots to have that instant advantage. Now, I go for the push because this player took a lot of damage from the burst. 100% he should have been able to build right after that first burst, no problem. That's what made him get eliminated in the first place. You can actually tell where an opponent's shooting you from without sound. You'll notice a few indicators on your screen showing you which direction you're getting shot from. So once I get shot at, guys, I'll show you what I mean. Now, me and this next opponent built off for the high ground and he ended up dropping down. So I tried tracking him from above and took a few shots as I held the high ground. The angles were very weird, but I managed to get off 2 critical shots before my opponent noticed me, and I ended up getting the finisher with the drum gun. So we headed to Paradise and now we're at Salty Springs. Hearing an opponent hiding inside this house, I break as much materials as I can to have more room to work with. I never try pushing houses because the fights can go both ways. Just too many angles to check for and you're limited to your building. I heard him inside this room and I took a few shots to see if I can bait him into peeking the window, and that's exactly what he ended up doing. He lined up his hunting rifle shot and I lined up my bolt shot, and he does have the advantage, so make sure you're able to pre-line up the shot very quickly. Heading outside, I spot another opponent and use the stairs to get closer towards him. Now, he's got a minigun, and what I did is build materials as I got closer to this opponent. Got a few shots off, although he hits me with his pump shot, which was the only weapon that actually helped him out. Took away my shields, but luckily I still had a few minis. Now, let me show you guys how you can tell where your opponent takes shots towards you. You'll see this blue arrow notifying you where the shots are coming from. This is an easy way of figuring out which way you have to build if you're not quite sure where your opponent's at. Some people don't even realize it's there, but it's a really great way of knowing where to build cover. Spotting another opponent up ahead, I utilize a bouncer to get closer towards him. Hopefully you guys are also using bouncers in your fights because they're great ways of going up or forward. Now, I built up to get above this player and I was expecting him to do the same. He kind of just gave up on the build up and sat inside his fort. He boxed himself in, and I've got materials right over top of him, so I'll either shoot straight down or I'll give myself a better angle and drop down to his level and shoot out his walls. Gives you a better chance of connecting more shots, and your opponent isn't able to build straight up because you've got your materials over top of him. Although he ended up jumping out and we had a straight up aim battle from there. Got pushed a few seconds later and this opponent never built a single thing, just kind of took shots. Anytime you've got an opponent that doesn't build, you better hope you're getting those eliminations because they're basically free. Heard a few shots to my east and there were a few players fighting. I do get the elimination after this player ends up standing still. Being patient and waiting a second longer gave me a chance to shoot an opponent as he stood still. If you notice players having a gunfight, wait for them to stop moving because standing still is the most accurate way of taking shots, although it's very deadly to do if you're out in the open. Now, you guys saw I got a hit on this player and I used my bouncer to get closer towards him. Once again, bouncers are great ways of stopping a heal and it allows you to continue putting on that pressure. Tried trapping this opponent and he did get out, so we continued the fight. Built up above him and he tries going around my stairs to get a few shots off. Now, my backside was open, so after I took my shot, I closed off the backside, that way the shot he takes hits my wall. Ended up jumping over top of him and it caught him off. I also want to mention, after eliminating your opponent, make sure you're walling up all the materials that are falling down. That way you'll have an easier time looting everything. Now, once again, I utilized the bounce trap because I heard 2 players fighting down below. My goal was to get down there before one of them got eliminated because I could have had 2 eliminations instead of the 1. Expect both players to potentially be lit while you try getting close. You'll usually be able to catch one of them out while they don't notice you, potentially getting a quick elimination, and then you'll be fighting another 1v1. Moving forward, I spot a player down below and try hitting a snipe. As I do that, I get shot at from behind. Now, you guys can see the blue arrows, so make sure you're building that cover in the direction of the arrows as quickly as you can. This player knew where both of us were, and I waited to try lining up a sniper shot onto this player. He kind of forgets I'm above him, and I'm able to get a critical snipe onto him. Now, once again, to get myself down quickly, I make sure to utilize a bouncer. This also allowed me to get off a bunch of free shots because he never expected me to drop down so quickly. When your opponent's building floors above to build around the mountain, it's super hard to predict the bouncer play because they can't hear it coming. Usually if you build yourself down with materials, your opponent will hear you. While with a bouncer, they don't really see it coming. So, the first opponent I tried sniping got away and hid inside this house. Went to the house to break the floors to get access to the basement. Although as I did that, this player ran outside and I ended up using the back door to have an easier time building myself up for that high ground. He actually tried pushing into the house, and remember what I said, I don't enjoy fighting inside houses because you're super limited to where you can build, and it's basically a blind gunfight from there. And again, remember what I said about players not building. They should be pretty easy kills to get. This player never built a single thing and gave me a free elimination. This last opponent got above me and I could have easily built myself above him, but I decided to box myself in and I actually wanted him to jump on my roof, that way he can get a trap elimination. Although he kept running around and not really applying any pressure towards me, so I made window edits to apply pressure towards him. He was really confused, and I ended up getting elimination because he allowed me to fight him without applying that pressure back. Well guys, that's it for this guide. It was a little shorter, but hopefully I've helped some people out, and a like and a sub will be greatly appreciated as it does help me out a lot. Anyways guys, thanks for watching, and I hope you have a great rest of your day and night, and I'll see you on the next one.